Welcome back, friends, to another rebuild. We're going to go back to Italy and we're going to take over the job at Sassuolo, who have just got relegated from Serie A. We are using an updated database from Notorious, which can be found on the FM24 website, which will have all the up-to-date relegations and promotions, etc. And Sassuolo are in Serie B. And looking at these trophies, it looks like they have never won Serie A or any European trophy or the Italian Cup either. So the club enjoyed probably the best spell during the 2010s, now enjoying a 10-year barren spell, not having won a trophy competition since 2013. They won the Italian second tier in 2013, the only the last trophy that they did win. So our job is for the next 5 seasons is to get them back to Serie A, establish them as a top 10 side, and fingers crossed win them a trophy along the way. Despite the transfers all being updated, we still have 15 million euros to spend if need be. The favoured formation with a 4-3-3 defensive midfield role with not many loan obligations, 1 in, 1 out. The board have outlined their long-term vision. They want to play entertaining football, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, and develop players using the club's youth system. Sign for players to develop for profit, break even in the transfer market, and work within the budget as well. And obviously the first task is to gain promotion to Serie A and be competitive in the Italian Cup. Club finances, like I said, we've got 15 million euros. They have got 19 in the bank. Any debts or loans? Okay, so we've got net debt overall of 8 million, 46 million pound remaining left to pay. We're paying 250,000 a month, and that'll end in 2038. So we'll still have that debt. Unless we become very successful in the next 5 seasons, then we'll still be here. So looking at the records, and the task is very, very simple. Finish higher than 6th. That is our target. That's the highest ever position, and that's what we aim to do. And to do that, we have this available squad, which looks very large, I'm not going to lie. We'll go by, well, let's have a look at the age, see how old some of these players are. Right, okay. We've got a 42-year-old goalkeeper, a 36-year-old goalkeeper, a 32 and a couple of 31-year-old defenders. That's not too bad. We can definitely work with this, especially if we've got to sign players just under the age of 23 as well, of which, in fact, you know what, looking at this side, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players 28 and over, including Berardi, right winger, who looks pretty good actually for 28. We're definitely hanging on to him for a couple of seasons. Toljan as well, who's another midfielder on the right hand side, I think, or wing back. This young lad, Volpato, cam player, bags of potential. We could build a team around him, that's for sure. Has he got the potential to go all the way though? That's the thing. Tries killer balls often and likes the ball played into his feet. Good technique, first touch is fantastic, plenty of flair. Still a lot of growing to go at 20 years old. We could definitely utilise this young lad. So if we have a look at ability and pick out the better ones that we have got. So Berardi, we've just pointed out. Loriente, 24-year-old left-hand side. So we've got Berardi on one side, Loriente on the other. Again, pacey. Wingers are going to come into effect in this formation, I feel. We've got Racic as well, 25-year-old midfielder. Defensive midfielder. Okay, that's not too bad either. Doig is another young player with plenty of potential as well. Again, quick. They do like quick players, don't they? 21-year-old left back. We've also got Ehrlich, defender. Nice. Torsvet as well. 24-year-old, another midfielder, another cam as well. Very much inundated with midfielders and cams again, I feel. Emil Seed, left winger, bags of we could just do a youth rebuild on this. I don't think we need to buy anybody else. Definitely need to look at a formation, but we'll have a look at our under 20s. Again, we've got some really good ones in here. Luca De Andrea, right winger. Again, bags of potential. Preferred foot is left wing, so inside forward, inverted. Okay, very nice. Also, Lipani, midfielder or DM. We could bring him in. I mean, he is 18 years old though. Sorry as well. Very nice. I mean, they've got some very talented young players here. Under 18s. Let's have a look what we got there. Okay, not that much, but the 20s look pretty neat as well though. So going back to our first team, plenty of players that we pointed out with bags of potential. We'll try and get them into the side straight off the bat and work our team around these guys. And then anybody else that's a higher rating can fit straight in. But yeah, we want to develop these 5 players if at all possible. Obviously, if we've got better players to go in them positions, depending on who they are, yeah, we're going to have quite an interesting rebuild. And there's a lot of players in this squad. I think some of them will have to go back down or go out on loan to develop a bit more. Right, if we'll start with the transfers in first, we'll do a different approach. Starting from the 30th of July, this is with our transfers that have come in when we've been in our tenure. There's a couple of freebies that I think they went to the youth team, but we did bring in 2 players. Frizinone, 3.1 million. Oyono, Anthony, a right back, plenty of potential, enough to challenge Jeremy on that right hand side. 22 years old, perfect for what they want coming to the club as well. Under 23s, don't forget, 23 and under. And the good thing about it is you don't even have to register them because they're underage. So it's even better for us. The more under 23s that we get in, the more that we can register without registering, if you know what I mean. But yeah, comes in with quite a lot of pace as well. Fits the bill perfectly. And our other signing was Papetti from Brescia for 4.3 million. A centre-back, again, bags of potential, 21 years old, somebody that can be here, providing he develops, can be here for a very long time. But going out the door, so we start from the 26th onwards. A couple of players going out that are not going to be getting any game time. Obiang, over 30, gone to QPR for 400,000. We've got Defrel as well, I think he's a forward, 800,000. Again, 32 years old, I think he was. A couple of other players also. Erlich, he's gone to Nice, our defender, pretty good defender as well. I didn't want to sign a new contract, so yeah, we had to let him go. He's worth up to £20 million. I can't believe he's gone so cheaply. Ferrari as well, gone to Hispalis, 31 years old. We're getting rid of some of the older players, letting some of the youth come through. Morrow as well, up to 3.4 million going to West Ham. So a lot of players still gone out as we try and reduce our squad and make play for the youngsters coming through the ranks. This is the formation we're going to be going with. We're locking in a few players like CD, bags of potential, left hand side winger. Same with Valpato as well. Bags of potential. I want to try and utilise these players as much as possible. Papetti as well. Again, bags of potential. I think we've only just brought him in as well. So, yeah, love to see him there. And Torati as well, our fantastic young goalkeeper as well. So, them 4 we are locking in. We are in Division 2, so they should improve. Fingers crossed. If they don't, then they probably won't make Serie A, unfortunately. With that in mind, we've had a faultless start, apart from the 0-0 draw with our second team. And then we just beat everybody else. The first round of the Italian Cup, we do go through against Palermo, winning 3-2 after extra time. And then we win our first 3 games in the Serie B. Current line top of the table, which I'm really happy about. Same with Reggiana and Frazzoni. So let's go on to our first season. Let's see if we can get out of this Serie B first time of asking, and then we can concentrate on Serie A. It's only taken us 1 season and we are back in Serie A. It didn't last long at all. We only lost 1 game all season. That is phenomenal. Out of 36 as well. And that was to Reggiana, who finished in 9th position, 57 points. 30 points behind us in the end. We did score 88 goals, only conceding 30, which is a real phenomenal feat there as well. 25 wins, 12 draws, but 1 loss. What a start. Wasn't to be in the Italian Cup, however. 3rd round loss to Juventus. Couldn't pick a harder team, could we? 3-1 in the end, which isn't bad. We scored a goal. The second round, we beat Cagliari 1-0. Did we enter the first round? We did, and that was a game where we beat Palermo 3-2 after extra time. So I think we beat some pretty good sides. Palermo were in Serie B, and the second round opponents, Cagliari, Serie A team we beat. That gives us good standing for when we go into Serie A. Squad-wise, however, let's have a quick look. We'll have a look at the youngsters that we locked in anyway. But 24 goals for Pinamonti. Not bad going at all. 25 years old, 24-1. 14-11 for Pato, our right winger that we locked in. Looks really good actually, doesn't he? 14-11 there. 13-8 for Badrami. And our 22-year-old CD, was he on the left-hand side? 7-10. Again, not bad. Growing as well. Some goals from everybody else, but 3 players getting double figures, which is good. And if we look at assists, 2 players getting double figures in assists. But that was our 2 wingers, our 2 young wingers, 20 and 22. Fantastic. And our goalkeeper, Tarati, 31 conceded in 38. That's pretty good going. And his morale is superb, marvellous. Up to £8 million he's worth now, which is good. And our 2 youngsters that we had as well, okay, rising very, very steadily. So going into Serie A then, what are they giving us? 26 million euros. That's not bad going at all. And I'm assuming that we've got a bigger debt. Can't remember if that's gone up or gone down, but I'm assuming that has gone down. I think it was on 46 before, possibly, or something like that. Not quite sure, but I'm sure it has gone down. We've got a little bit of spenders and nearly 300,000 a week in wages as well, so we should be able to improve our side a little bit at least anyway. We've had quite a busy summer. We've lost a few players, including Berardi. Goes to AC Milan for 21.5 million euros. We couldn't get him to stay, unfortunately, but yeah, who can argue? AC Milan come knocking on the door. You're going to go, aren't you? Guion as well. He's got Cagliari for 2.5 mil. Ruan as well to FLU in Brazil, 1.5. And a couple of contracts that have ended where they've gone on a free, and obviously a lot of players going out on loan. From Cagliari for 10.5 million. We bring in defender Adam Aubert. Looks pretty good. One of our better defenders as well. And at only 22 years old, which is great because we don't have to register them. From Atalanta, 8.5, we bring in Giorgio Cittadini. High potential, 22 years old, 6'4". Looks pretty good, and he doesn't dive into tackles, which is pretty good. A good backup to have, I think. From Fiorentino for £7 million, we bring in Gino Infantino. DM, cam, or midfield. It's going to be one of these 2 positions, I think, but I'm hoping more or less a backup to a DM role. But again, 21 years old, bags of potential. Definitely one of our top players. From Brianza, £5.5 million, we bring in Andrea Calboni. Another centre-back. We're having a lot of centre-backs. We've got a lot of young ones that are just don't cut it. We had to replenish our depth in the squad. Again, keeping with the ethos under 23s. Finally, from Locomotiva, we bring in Nicola Cavallina. 7 million, I think it was. Or it might have been less than that, actually. 3.7, in fact. From Croatia. Had a really good season a couple of seasons ago. Another goalkeeper to rival Tarati. We've locked in a couple of players like Missouri at right back. Loads of potential, 20 years old. Toljan can play there. Obviously he's our better right back, but I want to give this young lad a chance. If he can reach his potential, we're going to have such a solid side full of youngsters for years to come. Lapini as well. He was from he was on loan last season. We brought him back and we're bringing him into the squad as well. 19 years old, looks absolutely superb. Can reach 5-star potential, and he's only 19. I mean, what can I say? Looks really good and improving all the time as well. So our best 11 is what you see before you. Lapini does fit in there now, so that's pretty good as well. So he has earned his spot, and hopefully, looking at that, looks pretty solid, and we should be able to survive Serie A in our first season. However, results haven't gone our way, especially in the league. We lost to Roma 3-1 and Inter 3-0. But we did beat Parma 4-2, and we won our first game in the Italian Cup as well, 3-0 against Benevento, of which now we have Spezia, who we beat in the friendlies 3-0. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get to the 3rd round and not meet any of the top teams. We're currently lying in 15th position, just above the relegation zone. So fingers crossed, we can at least get to mid-table. That's where I'm hoping to be the end of this season, especially with our side so young. So let's move on to our second season and let's see what they can do. And that's not a bad finish in the second season and our first season back in Serie A. 10th position, bang centre of the table. 51 points. We're only 12 points off a European spot behind Inter. My God, they're falling way back. AC Milan take the title. 5 points from Juventus with Atalanta, Roma, Lazio and Napoli in there as well. But we've done really well. And Pinamonti gets second leading goal scorer in the league as well, with 20 goals, 7 behind Vlahovic of Juventus, but ahead of Immobile as well. So that's pretty good, especially from our youngsters as well. Lupini, 11 assists for the season as well, finishing in joint second spot with Muniz of Genoa, just behind Bargi of Inter. And also, which is a good effort, is getting to the quarterfinals of the Italian Cup as well, losing to Fiorentina after extra time as well. Wow, so close to getting to the final. Atalanta, AC Milan and Napoli all make it there. So who went out and won it in the end? It was AC Milan over Fiorentina. So we lost to the eventual finalists, which could have been us. Who did they meet in the semis? Just out of curiosity, they beat Atalanta 2-1. Overall, that's a pretty good season and a good footing for ourselves as well. So yeah, it's a great start. Squad-wise, if we put into goal order, 21 goals for Pinamonti. Loriente with 10 goals, 9 and 8 for Valpoto. Badrami in the cam position, 8 and 6. Like to see him do more. CD at left wing, 8 and 3, 6 and 13 for Lupini, who we locked in at 20 years old. Looks like he's going to reach his potential at some point. Also locking in as Missouri at right back, who's not done too bad actually. Lots of potential still left. 5 assists, which isn't great, but for 21 years old, we have got a young side. We've got to remember that. 57 goals conceded by our goalkeeper as well, Turati. And Kavlina, our other goalkeeper, doesn't look too bad either. 6 conceded in 2. More importantly, going into next season, we've been given 30 million euros, despite the fact we haven't got that. But 30 million all the same. Looks like we've got 100% transfer revenue as well. We'll start with the outs first. So quite a few players going, and surprisingly, Daniel Balocca, he's gone to Leeds for up to 12.5 million euros. Very, very cheap. Very disappointed he's gone. Nothing was going to change his mind, unfortunately. Jefferson Paz has gone to Spezia for 2.5. Moloteri's has gone to Palermo for 1.6, and a couple of other cheap players as well whose contracts were running out, and we decided to offload as well. That they weren't going to get any game time. It wasn't fair to keep them on the books, and a couple of others gone out on a free and a lot more out on loan. So 15 million euros added to the pot, which enabled us to bring in the following players. First up was Sebastiano Esposito, backup striker. We know how good he is. He's Italian as well, and what a better player to come in to the club and help out. Alvarez, I think he's still around. Thought we offloaded him. Maybe I was mistaken it was somebody else. But Esposito is our fourth choice, but Loriente is our left winger. Even though Esposito can play on the right wing as well, he's more suited to up front. So hopefully he'll get some game time. He hasn't as yet. And also, what makes it better is that he was on a free. From Luton for 15 million, we bring in Tendon Mengi, centre-back. Not many centre-backs out there that we can afford and are of good quality. He's got Carboni, Ober, Cittadini. He's got Oyono as well. Bamba also, which we'll get to. Quality of players around him. 3 games for us so far. And from Saudi Arabia, we bring in Ibrahima Bamba to play as a DM rather than centre-back. 15 million euros from Al Duhail. Had a really good season last season, the season before that as well, so he's done pretty well since moving. They've made a little bit of profit, but I don't mind. He's a really, really good player, and I'm hoping he's going to propel us up to that next level. He's going to play alongside Lupini as well, who we've had problems trying to hang on to. We've even had to increase his contract to try and keep him, and keep him we have just. And finally, because Balocca's gone, we bring in Johnny. 13 million from Real Hispalis just as a backup. We've got nobody really decent in there. We've got Torsville that can play there, Infantino also. But yeah, we just want another player that can come in and rotate if need be. So we've already locked Lupini in. If we pick our best 11, he does stay in there actually, so that's pretty good. So we might not do that then. But I want Lupini to get as much game time as we can. He's come up through the ranks. He's only 20 years old. I want him to turn into the superstar that he should be. And looking at the rest of the side, it doesn't look too bad apart from the defence. Defence needs a lot of work. Oyono comes in on the right hand side, one of our better players now, even though he can play centre back. Turati we've had problems hanging on to as well. Again, another player that we've had to offer a new contract to stave off other offers. And between him and Lapini, we've done the job well. Friendlies went without a hitch. We've been scoring goals for fun. Even in the Italian Cup first round, we played Reggiana. We beat them 4-1. Then the league against Lazio 2-2. 4-1 win over Fiorentina. And then we lost to Juventus 2-0 just recently, which leaves us in 10th position where we finished last season. So hopefully we go a little bit higher and aim for a European spot or anywhere close. And we've drawn Spezia in the next round of the Italian Cup. So let's go into our third season and see how we get on. We've made the top 10. In fact, we've halved that position. We're in 5th and a Champions League spot. 10 losses this time round and 20 wins. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to flip it the other way around, and 20 victories. That is fantastic. And look at the goal difference as well. 68 points, 2 points off a 4th place finish even. AC Milan win it again. Inter this time gather themselves and finish in 2nd position. So a massive achievement from them after finishing quite low down last season. But wow, I can't believe we've managed to get ourselves into a 5th spot. That is brilliant. And to make things even better, we get to the final of the Italian Cup where we win 3-0, going 1-0 up after just 30 seconds. That's fantastic, and that's probably where we got our Champions League spot, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, first domestic trophy of note, finishing off the final with a penalty from Pinamonti. In the semi-finals, we beat Juventus 3-0. After a first leg 0-0 draw. Quarterfinals, we beat Lazio 3-0. Third round, we beat AC Milan 3-1. So we've been scoring 3 goals every round, including the final. Brilliant. Second round, apart from the second round then, 2-1 against Spezia. I can take that, that's fine. In the first round, we beat Reggiana 4-1. We had a relatively good route to the final, knocking out some big names in there. Pinamonti gets the top goal scorer in the competition with Volpato as well. Cavallina, where's our goalkeeper? Most clean sheets, 4. That's pretty good as well. He's our second choice goalkeeper. He also gets 2 Player of the Match awards in the competitions with Oyono as well. What's worrying is, where's our goalkeeper? So looking at the squad then, first of all, I want to find out where our goalkeeper is. He's not there. Transfers, did we lose any players? That was our last sell there, Blocco. Oh, our right back's gone. 5 million to Parma, and Arsenal have nicked Turati offers for up to 12.75 million. No. Oh, that means we have to go and get ourselves another goalkeeper now. Unless Cavallina, who looks like he's done well anyway. But has he played? 2 games, conceded 3. 20 and 20 for us. I mean, he's played superb for us, and I think he would have been happy with an Italian Cup trophy as well. Anyway, back to the squad then. Let's go for goals. 22 and 4 for Pinamonti. CD as well, 14 and 2. Loriente, 11 and 14. A better performance from him this season. Bajrami, 10 and 4. 8 and 2 for Volpato as well. He seems to be dropping off a little bit though. A little bit concerning. Bamba, 4 and 3. Infantino, midfield, 3 and 1. 4 starts. Lapini, looking very tasty indeed, 1 and 4. That's disappointing though. He is playing as a DLP though, on defend I think it is. So it's going to be quite tough for him to get forward, but we might change it around a little bit. But him and Bamba in midfield, fantastic. No other goals really, so we managed to win a trophy. Not many goals being scored, but 14 assists from Oyono. That's what you want from a right back. That is superb. That's brilliant. Him and Loriente early 2 reaching double figures. But Cavallina though only conceded 24 and 22. That's pretty good. Do we need to worry about another goalkeeper then? Because we've got 2 goalkeepers, 2 relatively young ones. Do we need to improve elsewhere? So looking into the finances for next season, 15 million euros. It's not a lot considering we've finished higher. We won the Italian Cup and we're in the Champions League next season. We're going to get absolutely pummeled, which isn't going to do morale for the players at all. Once again, we'll start with the transfers out. And as you can see, young player Volpato, he leaves at Torino for 7.5 million euros. Still a pretty good player. Very sad to see him go. He did not want to stay, regardless what we could offer him. Also goes Cavallina, goalkeeper, gone to Chelsea for up to 2 million. Chittadini, he's gone to Cagliari for 550,000. And Alvarez, the forward's gone to Nijmegen for up to 500,000. A lot of players going out on a free and quite a few going out on loan. We did add to the squad, and the first addition was from Frosinone for €3 million. Christian Fructo, slightly better than our last one, which he's now left. But Russo is still there as a backup, and we have got some youngsters coming through the ranks as well. So I think a goalkeeper is one that we really need, but to get somebody that's half decent, we just cannot afford either the wages or the price that they were asking for. So Fructo comes in. He was quite happy to come on 26 grand a week. So yeah, and I think we more than enough get my money back for him if need be. But again, I think another goalkeeper will be looking for next season. From Havre for €6 million, we're bringing Aruna Sangante. Defender, looks very good indeed. 24 years old, 6'2", and he just likes to play short, simple passes, which is what we want. And he marks the opponent tightly. Definitely our best defender today, alongside Bamba, who's actually playing in DM role. So if nothing works out with any of his partners, then I'm thinking for the last season we are just going to go for it and bring Bamba into defence, of which we will have a solid defence then. And finally, for €9 million from Valencia, we bring in Lucien Agume, Cameroonian defensive midfielder and midfielder as well. Another backup player in the centre of the park. As we're in Europe and the Champions League, we need more bodies. And also we're bringing from the ranks is Luca D'Andrea, right wing. He can play cam as well, more or less for right wing. Now we've lost Valporto, which is really disappointing. I still can't believe he's gone, but yeah, he's worth up to 13.5 million, so a lot more. Stats wise, for 21 years old, looks pretty decent, so we're going to lock him in for this season and see what he can do. But if we pick our best 11, this is what it shapes up to be, which doesn't look too bad. Results wise, it's not gone all our way. We did lose one game to Juventus 4-2, but we did beat Roma 3-0 and Como 3-1. The Champions League phase, we've been drawn against Reims, Partizan, Manchester United, Marseille, Shakhtar, PSV, Bayern Munich and AC Milan. We are lying in 5th position where we finished last. Hopefully we can maintain that and remain in the top 6. We are predicted to finish around about 26th in the Champions League phase. So, I'll take that for now, but I would like to see if we can sneak into the 24th position to get us into the next round. And we're also in the Super Cup as well, so we're fighting on 4 fronts this season. That's quite impressive after a record breaking last season by finishing 5th, our highest position, and winning the Italian Cup as well. So let's move on to our 4th season and let's see if any of this comes to fruition. It looks like we've had another incredible season. We finished in 6th position, but we do fall into the Europa League, however, which is still a European competition, which is I'm really chuffed about still. 12 losses this season though, so it's was it more than last season? 10 losses last season and 17 before. So we have got better. Goal difference is a little bit to be desired, it has to be said, but we did say that right at the beginning of the season that the goalkeeping issue will be a problem after we lost our other good backup. So did struggle that sense. However, we still scored more than we conceded. A lot less than everybody else around us. 106 goals by Inter. Inter finally win the league after being in the shadows of AC Milan over the past couple of seasons, but they've done rather well. Roma finishing 9th position. Napoli and Lazio 13th and 12th. Wow. Empoli, Cagliari and Venezia all get relegated. Fructal though, our goalkeeper, our only number 1 goalkeeper now, he did get 13 clean sheets, which is quite impressive, considering we didn't get onto the board with anybody else. Competition wise, we did have an awful lot going on. We'll start off with the Super Cup. We lost it in the semi-final bit to Inter Milan. Only 2-1 in the end. That's still pretty good. The final being won by AC over Inter 3-0. Wow, AC absolutely pummeled them. In the Italian Cup, we get knocked out by Brescia in the 3rd round, is it, on penalties. And the Champions League, we get knocked out in the playoff round, so we did get past the group stage. We lost to Juventus 3-2. We were winning the first leg as well. Wow, we could have gone a little bit further. That would have been quite impressive. It really would have been. Final being won by PSG over Bayern Munich. God, PSG seem to be doing quite well in this competition. League phase over. Where did we fit? We did sneak into 24th position there. Like I said, we probably should do. 3 wins. Manchester United, Partizan and Reims. The win's a win, I guess. We did lose to AC, Bayern, PSV, Shakhtar and Marseille. Shakhtar and PSV I'm quite surprised at, I have to admit. Arsenal were unbeaten, same with PSG. And who else was it? Bayern Munich that got to the final. They lost the 1 game to Juventus. So Juventus did pretty well. Although they finished in 14th. Did lose 2 games, Atalanta and Liverpool. Wow. Such a merry-go-round. But before we go on any further, we did lose a few players, which seemed to have happened after we started simulating it. In fact, Doig goes to Al Ali for up to 23 million euros. Lapini as well, he's gone to Al Fateh for 10.75 million, rather cheaply. This was done in the September, just as we kicked off the season. Infantino, I think he was a backup midfielder. He's gone to Independiente for up to 4. And we lost another youngster. So Lapini, he looks like he's dropped off as well. 4 games for us. And then they bought him. Still a 7.3. He's done rather well, actually. 2 goals, 9 assists. And Doig, he was our Scottish guy, left back. He's on 400 grand a week. To be honest, I'm not surprised he's gone. To be fair, again, right at the beginning of the season. Looks like their transfer window shuts a little bit later then, because our window definitely shut at the beginning of September. So that is really upsetting to lose 2 big players. So going to the squad with what we've got left, 18 goals for Pinamonte, 11 for Luca De Andrea. He's not played too bad with 9 assists. That's not too bad in his first season from the youth team. Badrami, 10 and 9. Yeah, we've kind of struggled. Even Loriente, he struggled. 6 and 6. Our goalkeeper, which we did say is going to be a real problem, 72. And we did lose a left back as well. So it seems to like we've lost a lot of players. Esposito, I wanted to get him some game time. He did play 5, 18 off the bench, 3 and 2. I am contemplating 2 up front. If we've lost Lapini, maybe we just settle for 1 DM, 4 at back or 3 at the back with 2 in DMs. I don't know. We'll have to have a look. But Bamba, I'm assuming we have still got Bamba. Yes, we have. 3 and 8. He can play in defence. So if we do have 3 at the back, because now we've lost Doig, maybe we switch things up going into the final season. Maybe we might do that and put Esposito and Pinamonte up front. But going into next season anyhow, we have got 30 million. And that's probably from the sales that we got from the players over the season as well. So I would like to see a little bit more in there. We have got 43 in the bank, which is a nice change. Debts and loans, it's down. Looks like we've got some more loans coming then. Wow, okay. Another 76 million. By looks of things. But 30 million at the moment. If we manage to sell anybody, that'll increase. We've got 100% of the transfer revenue, so that's good. But we've got a lot of rebuilding to do again, considering we were just getting into our stride. So not much in the ways of outs, as we lost a lot earlier on in the season, or during the season. So yeah, we couldn't really afford to let anybody else go. But we do bring in another goalkeeper, Michel Di Gregorio, 30 years old. Yes, he's pretty old, but we at least get a couple of years out of him anyway. And he was the only decent one that was really available and in our price range as well. Pretty good goalkeeper actually, Italian as well, which ticks all the boxes, and much better than Frukel as well at this present moment in time. From Leverkusen for 10 million, we bring in Januel Balassian, French centre-back. Again, we love to buy centre-backs in this club, but definitely someone who could fill in if needed. Finally, on a free transfer in the midfield or DM role, we bring in Sosteris Alexandropoulos. I think I pronounced that correctly. Another DM to play alongside Agume. Bamba's going to drop into the defence. However, he could play in a DM role. We're not locking any players in for this season. For pace and acceleration, he looks absolutely fantastic. So with our side virtually depleted, like I said, we're not locking anybody in, but we are changing it up slightly. We've lost a lot of players, and it is rather annoying. So this is the side that we've got. We've got 4 at the back. I did say we want to go for it this season, and we are going to be doing that. Originally I wanted 3 at the back, 2 in DM and everybody else up front, but it didn't work that way, so we changed it back to this, and I think we're going to stick with it this time. I want Esposito to get at least some game time and see if he can reach his potential, as we know he can, playing alongside Pinamonte. And like I said, it hasn't gone to plan. Some of the friendlies were okay. We conceded a lot of goals, but we did score Then we played Roma in the Pellegrini Testimonial. We win that 2-1, but we lost to them 3-2 in the league. Lost to Bologna 4-2, and this is where we switched it back. Rather than have 3 at the back, we've gone back to a flat back 4, where we came away with a 4-2 victory over Como and a 1-1 draw at home to Cremonese. So yeah, not happy about that result, but it's still a point all the same. The Europa League, we've been drawn against Shakhtar, Hibernian, Everton, Borussia Dortmund, Astana and Rennes, Antwerp and Spurs. We are currently lying 14th, not ideal, and we're some way off the leaders, but we're only 3 points off a 6th spot finish, of which we're trying to aim to get into Europe once again. We are predicted to finish around about 22nd in the Europa League. I can take that. We were predicted in the Champions League to finish outside the qualifying, and we managed to qualify, so I'm expecting to finish around about mid-table if possible. So let's delve into our final season and let's see what this depleted side, after all the building we have done, has just been taken apart. And yeah, we'll see as best we can. I'm expecting again a top 6 finish to get us back into Europe. That's what I'm aiming for. It will be nice to win another trophy along the way, but we'll see what happens. As the final season comes to a close, wow, we finished in 7th position, another European spot, a top 7 finish. Looks like we've been going down over the past couple of seasons. 5th, 6th, now 7th. 63 points. We won all the last 5 games actually as well, so that's pretty good. Literally 2 points off Lazio in 5th, but some way off the top 4 though, unfortunately. But again, we've done reasonably well. We finished definitely in the top 10. We can consider ourselves as a top 10 team as well. And that's not bad considering we were relegated at the beginning of this rebuild. So that is pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. 71 goals scored this season, which is huge considering we've virtually gone all out attack with 2 strikers. But Drami, though, gets the most assists for the season. That is really good. At least we have one person on there, which is nice. Nobody in the top goal scoring or best player, unfortunately. Competitions, wow, okay, that's quite impressive as well. So the Italian Cup, we get to the quarterfinals where we bow out to Juventus 4-1, which is a shame. I would have liked to have gone on and win that last season, but Inter win it anyway. So that must mean Juventus got knocked out by Inter then. 5-0 over the 2 legs, wow. And the Europa League, we get all the way to the semi-finals where we play Spurs and we lose 4-2 over the 2 legs. I mean, it's close. Even Everton got there in the semi-final as well. The final being won by Dortmund on penalties. But let's have a look at the league phase. We finished in 14th position. They did have us down here, so once again, we defied the odds. 4 wins this time. Astana, Everton, Hibs and Shakhtar. We drew with Antwerp but lost to Spurs, which we lost in the semi-finals. Rennes and Dortmund, who went on to win it. The knockout round, we played Karabag. We beat them 5-4 thanks to a 4-1 second leg win. Round of 16, beat Besiktas 3-2 despite losing the second leg 2-0. And the quarterfinals, we beat Rangers 3-0 convincingly. That's not a bad showing in Europe either, actually. Would have been nice to go ahead and win this competition. Esposito, our leading goal scorer in the competition. 7 goals. Nice to see him come to fruition as well. But speaking of our squad, you'll notice that it's quite depleted. Very depleted. But before we go on to the stats, this is why. Again, we had no say-so over the transfers. 60 million euros worth gone out. And that is because from January, we lost a lot of players. For some reason, our board saw fit to let go of some of these players. Loriente, 26.5 million to Saudi Arabia. We also lost Sangante, our defender, for 28 million. Luca De Andrea to Udinese for 11.75. And Oyono, our right back or centre back, 17 million. You can't rebuild a team when they do things like this. So imagine my surprise when we come out of the season and we've lost all our players. That is just disgusting. But I want to have a look at Luca though, because he was our young prodigy actually. He's 23 years old now, right wing, very quick. And how did he do? He played 12 games, 6.77, 1 assist. He didn't do too bad for us. He only played in the 20 games, but he had a very good first season though. Loriente, now inside it. I mean, he's on 93 grand a week, so it's not an awful lot. Again, not doing too bad. Sagante as well. I mean, I can't believe they let this guy go. 26 years old. Unbelievable. He's gone to the Bundesliga. Unbelievable. We did make a lot of money on him. In fact, we probably did on Luca Andrea as well, didn't we? Because he came through the ranks, didn't he? Loriente. We got him for 12. Yeah, so selling players for profit. And Yono as well. We brought him in for 3, sold him for 14. I mean, it's disgusting. That's all they're bothered about. So, with what's left of the squad, I mean, this is some rebuild, isn't it, really? Wow. Okay, 27 goals and 6 for Pinamonte. 25 and 10 for Esposito. Good partnership going there. 21 assists for Badrami and 10 for Sidi as well. So he obviously had to come in. Again, a lot of other players just making up the numbers in the end. Dagami, though, 4 and 5, not bad. Bamba, heart of defence, 5 assists though. That's pretty good. Our goalkeeper, Gregorio, yeah, he didn't really have much luck at all, did he? With losing a lot of players, especially a lot in the defence. Some main players, 86 conceded. I'm absolutely gutted for him. I mean, that's our squad. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, just out of interest, what they are giving us 54 million. I mean, I'm not surprising, although we did sell 67 million pounds worth. So I'm really disappointed in that. But wow. I can't believe they just did that to us. Despite that, we still managed to finish in 7th position. We did break the highest league position, which was 5th, 87 points. I think that was the first season, wasn't it? The fewest defeats, 1. Yeah, that was the first season. Highest gate receipts, 1 million against Manchester United in the Champions League. Andrea Pinamonte, most goals by player in the season. Well done to him. And he also gets most league goals in the season as well. Highest average rating, Luca Pilipini. How's he doing nowadays? Sitting there at Alpha Tay. How has he done? Okay, his ratings are up, but doesn't look that impressive though. 54 grand a week. Would have loved to have brought him back. Youngest player was Federico Gilimberti. I'm guessing he had to come in and play for us because we had no players. Fastest goal, 33 seconds by Sidi against Roma in the Italian Cup final. Most assists by player in the season, Badrami, 21. Most player of the matches, Pinamonte, 10. Youngest goal scorer, 16. Galimberti. So sequences, most matches won in a row, 11. That's pretty good. Most matches without losing, 19. That was the first season. Matches without winning, 6. Yeah, don't really want to know that one. And transfers, did we bring anybody big in? Oli Pinamonte, 20 million euros. And he has been the perfect buy, really. He's done really well for us. We brought him back off when he was on loan to us. And he has done really well, hasn't he? He's been very consistent, that's for sure. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And we'll be back next time with another rebuild. And until then, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.